The Raiders have made a smart hire, and I'm going to tell you who it was in their search for a GM and head coach. I'm Mitchell Renz. This is the Raiders reporting. Coming up here on today's show, I am going to tell everybody who is Jed Hughes. And if you don't know who Jed Hughes is, I think everybody that rocks with the silver and black needs to understand who this person is, because he is going to help out Mark Davis, and he is going to help out Tom Brady be a big decision maker of who the next head coach and who the next general manager is. So coming up here on the show, I'll get into the news around Jed Hughes and the contract, or just something that's the Raiders are doing, because I do think it's a smart move. I'm going to tell you who Jed Hughes is and why he's considered an executive headhunter. What does Hughes look for in a head coach and a GM? Did Hughes' hiring lead to the firing of Tom Telesco? And is the Hughes hiring a hint on who the Raiders are trying to hire? I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to turn on those notifications, because I mean this when I say it. You're not going to find anybody out there that's going to do their job better than me, trying to keep you guys up to date on who the Raiders are going to hire for a head coach, general manager, news in general, this entire offseason. Also, I saw this coming in from CBS's Jonathan Jones, and first thing I initially thought was, all right, who the heck is Jed Hughes, right? So I wanted to make this video because I figured a lot of other Raider fans would have that exact same thought. So I would appreciate it. And if you're a real one, click that subscribe button. So this happened early this morning, coming in again from Jonathan Jones. And I think Jones is starting to earn my credibility, no doubt about it. He was one of the first people on Robert Saleh, and now he's yet again here. In addition to Tom Brady having a significant voice in the direction of the Raiders, I am told the team has contracted Jed Hughes of Korn Ferry to help in the head coaching search and general manager search. Hughes is a well-known executive headhunter in the NFL. I think that this is important because Mark always listens to certain people, and we've already seen Mark's listening to Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's going to make a lot of those calls. But let's hop back in a time machine here, right? Because one of the people that Mark Davis really listened to the last hiring process in regards to Josh McDaniels and regards to Dave Ziegler was Ken Herock. And Ken Herock, as we can agree, probably didn't end up making the best decision. I'm really happy to hear, though, that it sounds like that they're not going to use Ken Herock, and they're going to go out now and they're going to use Jed Hughes. So it's Jed Hughes, Tom Brady. Those are the two main talking points in the ear when it comes to Mark Davis right now. So I like the fact that Mark is at least learning from his mistakes. But again, Jed Hughes is very well respected. And after I get done going through everything that there is to know in today's video, you're going to leave today going, all right, I'm going to tip my cap here to Mark. I'm going to tip my cap here to Tom Brady. So here we go. So who is Jed Hughes? Jed Hughes is a vice chairman for Korn Ferry in the firm's New York office, okay? Mr. Hughes was distinguished himself as an expert in identifying, assessing, and developing leaders. His relationship within sports and intercollegiate athletics are extensive, having spent 20 years coaching a professional and intercollegiate football and working for 5 Hall of Fame coaches. He helped the Chiefs hire Andy Reid, the Seahawks hire GM John Schneider and head coach Pete Carroll, Michigan to hire Jim Harbaugh. He's also done a great job in the MLB, college football, in the NBA. So my point is the fact that this is somebody that multiple very successful organizations have gone out and that they have looked for his expertise and trying to go out and build a good structure. And when you go through, and again, I'm going to tell you what he looks for when he hires a GM and a head coach, and all of this stuff is going to be coming up here on today's show. Before I get into the quotes, though, around what Jed is looking for in a head coach and a GM, and this is going to be a really pretty picture that we're about to paint together here, because I think at the end of the day, a lot of Raider fans are just always like, I'm so sick of firing guy after guy after guy, and we're never going to be able to get the ball rolling in the right direction. The Raiders hiring Jed Hughes, everything that he thinks about and everything that he aspires to be and everything that he tries to get his, clients, the Raiders, to do is going to be getting everybody on the same page. So I'll tell you what that is here in just a moment, but I do got to give a shout out to our sponsor here, PrizePicks, best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, easy, and of course, you can, when your picks hit, you can get your money actually in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need a win to receive the $50 bonus. It's actually guaranteed. Sign up today, get $50 in, so when you play $5, download the app today, use code CLNS. So this link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description of today's show. Prize Picks run your game. If you're wondering what I'm doing tonight, I'm going to be live, which I think a lot of y'all know. I'm going to go for Texas up against Ohio State. But if you put a lineup in, you can go for more, you can go for less. You're going to have a lot of fun, which I actually think the lineup that I have cooking up for tonight, again, I don't usually do a lot of money, but you guys can see right here, I put this one in. So this is one lineup, 3 pick to pay $21.25. So Quinn Ewers, less than 243.5 pass yards. I took Will Howard, less than 250.5 pass yards. Quinshawn Jenkins, running back for Ohio State, more than 13 rush attempts. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think both defenses are going to stand out. We'll see. No matter what, though, I'm going to have fun playing. And if you guys want to tune in as well with me tonight, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so here's a quote from Jed Hughes back in 2016 on what he's looking for when he hires a head coach or a general manager. It varies depending on the assignment, but initially it is to gain alignment on what the organization is looking for. And then once you gain the alignment, then you begin to look for potential candidates who would fit. Then, depending on if you are in the NFL and if you have roles as when you can interview people, you have to seek permission. You begin the interviewing and assessment phase. So I'm also going to warn everybody, I am a horrific reader, and I know that. Like, I'm probably as bad of a reader as Luke Getsy is calling plays, so kind of bear with me a little bit. So Hughes does have a few major beliefs about NFL GMs. First, this is literally a quote that he said. He believes great GMs are not born, but made. Hughes also says stability. It's another very critical word, is critical. Here's a quote from Jed Hughes. Again, these are back from 2016. They're a little old. We looked at the teams that have won championships in major professional sports leagues in the last 5 years, and almost all of them have done it with a first-time GM. Could be a little of an inside look there of maybe why they fired Telesco, which is pretty incredible. Only 2 didn't. That's very revealing. Also, who is in place first, the GM or the coach? If you look at the Spurs, Greg Popovich was in charge before R.C. Bufford was named GM. Pat Riley was in charge in Miami before Eric Spoelstra was named head coach. So usually it's the GM. But in some cases, the head coach runs the show, and it's done with the Patriots and Bill Belichick. The other thing is stability. Look at what happened with the Mets. The Mets hired Sandy Alderson. He hired the coach, Fred Wilpon. He supported him and then have been able to build a team that is now competitive, which, I'll be honest, I don't remember the Mets ever being competitive. You've had alignment. You've had stability. People bought into the philosophy, and Sandy is one of the true great leaders as it relates to collaboration and bringing people into meetings and having lunch bucket kinds of meetings. Most organizations are built on developing people within, let me get this one right, because this quote is very important here from Mark Davis. Most organizations are not built on developing people within their organizations. They are built to try to win immediately. And that's what Mark has tried to do. Like, I just got chills saying it. Mark has been trying to win immediately for far too long. He did it with Gruden. He did it with McDaniels. And he figured, all right, if I just slap a Band-Aid over this scar, over this deep wound, I'm going to be able to get it going. Tom Brady knows that that's not what it takes. He knows that it's going to take stability, and it's going to be able to get a lot of people in this organization. So I've been saying all week that whoever the Raiders bring in as their next head coach and GM, unless they go like 0-17 or 0-34, they're going to want stability, and this next person is going to get multiple years. But they also want people that have similar thoughts, similar ideas. So when I went through and I looked through those quotes, okay, here are my big-time takeaways from that. My big takeaways, my cliff notes, if you are, stability and alignment, they're critical, and we know that. And the Raiders got to get on the same page, right? When you got John Gruden, Mike Mayock, Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, Rich Bisaccia, Antonio Pierce, you get all these minds, Tom Telesco, and they're all picking different players. They all have different philosophies on football. They're all signing new guys, and you got all these different players with all these different skill sets that fit with different coordinators on offense and defense, and it kind of looks like a shitty process out there, right? We got a bunch of puzzle pieces that don't fit in the same puzzle. So therefore, the final project doesn't look great. This is somebody that believes we're going to try to get everything going in the right direction, but you need everybody thinking on the same page. He also, first-time GMs have had success. So if he believes, like, when you bring in somebody, and I think it's one of the reasons why the Raiders were initially probably going to roll with Tom Telesco, and then it was weird. Breaking news, nobody saw it coming. I almost wonder if the Raiders hired Jed Hughes here and was like, give me your top things. And Jed was like, you can't keep Telesco. He was a part of your last regime, and you don't know if he's going to think the same as the new head coach that you end up bringing in. I think it also means that they're really looking at a certain big-name head coach. God, I hope it's Ben Johnson. My other thing is this. Are they making this hire because they thought they would get those things with Vrabel, but he's going to go to the Patriots? I mean, we've always heard that front runner is Vrabel, and I know the Raiders haven't put in for an interview with him yet, but what if they thought that they were going to be able to get him, and everything is pointing now to honestly like Vrabel potentially going to the New England Patriots? Aaron Glenn turned down an interview with them because, I mean, he's probably already hearing things. There's probably things on the wall. For as quick as what New England fired Gerard Mayo, they have to have something in place already. So if Brady was confident that he was going to be able to go out and get Vrabel and everything that he was looking for, this kind of maybe what Jed was telling him, and now all of a sudden maybe the Raiders are like, crap, we don't know if we're going to be able to go get Vrabel. Who's somebody that we can bring in to bring and help us out, get everything that we're looking for from a head coach and GM standpoint? Jed Hughes could be that guy. Are they prepared to hire Ben Johnson and give him maybe a Bill Belichick control and allow Brady to be that GM, basically cut out the middleman? You know, this is another thing that I thought of, where what if they want to bring in a big-name guy like Ben Johnson? They look at Ben Johnson and they go, you're basically going to be our Bill Belichick. You're going to be head coach. You're going to be general manager, but you're going to work with Tom Brady. And, you know, you think about it. If Mark's paying all these head coaches, he's still paying John Gruden. He's still paying Antonio Pierce. Still paying Josh McDaniels. That's a lot of money. It's about $30 million in head coaches you're not coaching. Well, what happens if you just don't pay a general manager? You kind of let Brady and Ben Johnson just be the GM, but they got to be on the exact same page. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. And, I mean, I can't blame Brady for thinking that because of all the success that, you know, Bill had in New England. And then I do think that the hiring of Hughes and a lot of the things that I just said there, first-time GM, got to be on the same page, kind of coming in together in terms of like good hirings, because for somebody that's had success, I mean, he hired Pete Carroll and Schneider. That was a duo that came in together, and that was a duo that a lot of people were very, you know, like, oh, I don't know if that's going to work out. And it ended up working out. They ended up winning the Super Bowl, and the Seahawks were a great football team for, you know, a solid decade. So I wonder if the Hughes hiring is one of the reasons why Tom Telesco got fired. Now, I hope everybody appreciate this show. If you could, if you made it this far, hit that like button. I know it's a little bit different than what I've typically done, but I'm a Raider fan just like you, and when I saw Jed Hughes' name, my initial thought was, who the heck is Jed Hughes? So I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you tune in tonight. We're going to be live 30 minutes before kickoff. Texas, Ohio State. Make sure you're pulled up. Make sure you're subscribed. At the end of the day, I hope Raider fans know how much effort, how much time I'm going to put into this, because I'm a hustler. Whether you agree with me, whether you don't, I have commitment to excellence and hope that the Raiders can start just winning, baby. For more videos around the Las Vegas Raiders, make sure you click that subscribe button right here. I promise you, I got you covered. For even more updates around the silver and black, you can click this button right here. And if you want even more videos from the Raiders Report, Chuck's looking at me right now like, are we going to go for a walk? Yeah, we are. But you got to click this button or else we can't do it. Hopefully nobody heard a dog scream that entire video too, because there was dogs out there playing.